Hello everyone, good morning. So for today, I'm going to discuss about the theory of Carl Gustav Jung, analytical psychology. So this will be our last lesson for module 1. So again, just to remind you of the formative assessments that you have to comply and answer, make sure to answer them within the week. Okay? So after this lesson, I will be discussing to you the M1 summative assessment, which will be it's a video presentation. So according to Carl Jung, I am not what happened to me, but I am what I choose to become. So kind of different yung perspective niya compared to Freud, no? Okay, so short biography of Carl Jung. He has a dominant mother and a weak father. Her mother's family has a tradition of mysticism. He became a psychiatric assistant to Brewer and the first president of the IPA, Freud and protege. Okay, so now some overview of his theory. He assumes occult phenomena that influence the lives of individual. Kaya nga 'di ba may mysticism yung kanyang theory. According to him, our personality and behavior is both determined by future and the past experiences, and we inherit experiences from ancestors in the forms of collective unconscious. Okay, so yun din yung medyo iba sa theory ni Carl Jung, yung collective unconscious, no? Yun yung parang what makes it kind of unique compared to other theories of personality. Okay. So now let's go back. Okay. So according to also to him, there are archetypes that are highly developed and aspects of this and the aim at achieving balance between opposing forces. So mysticism, spiritualistic din yung theory niya. He also has an animalistic and humanistic tendency daw tayong mga tao. No? Some basic assumptions, people are motivated by repressed experiences but also emotionally toned experiences from ancestors that we inherit from our ancestors. And people are a compendium of opposites. So some concept of humanity, biological similarities, and neither of the rest. So levels of the psyche, we have the conscious, personal unconscious. The conscious, this is the psychic images sensed by the ego. And according to him, ego is the center of consciousness but not the core of personality. Personal unconscious naman, these are repressed infantile memories and impulses that are unique to each of one of us. So this could be perceptions, thoughts, feelings that can easily be retrieved, repressed, that can be forgotten experiences but not vivid enough to make a conscious expression. Complexes. So complexes are emotionally toned conglomeration of associated ideas. These are organized group of thoughts, feelings, and memories about a particular concept. Now, let's go to the collective unconscious. These are, again, universal thoughts that have emotionally toned experiences that we inherit daw from our ancestors. This is an innate tendency to react in a particular way whenever there is an experience, no, that we somehow namamana natin dun sa mga ancestors natin, and we respond accordingly because we have this. And the collective unconscious contains archetypes. Archetypes are archaic, ancient images. Again, nasa loob ng collective unconscious yung archetypes, no? Typo error lang yan. It's collective unconscious. Okay? So, moving forward, we have here some basic archetypes. Again, these are derived from collective unconscious. We have the persona, the public face that we show to the world. We have the shadow. These are the darkness and repressed parts of ourselves that we attempt to hide. The anima is the feminine side of men, while the animus is the masculine side of women. The Great Mother is the archetype of fertility and destruction. The wise old man are the human's pre-existing knowledge of the mysteries of life. The hero archetype, these are to fight against odds, and the self archetype, this is to move towards growth and completion, referred to as the archetype or archetype of archetypes. Okay. archetype of archetypes. So it refers to archetypes of completeness, no? So ito na, no? The anima, the feminine side of men. It could represent the irrational moods and feelings that men can feel. And animus, the masculine side of men. It represents the thinking and the reasoning part of women. So it could also be derived as to being rational and strong. The Great Mother is a derivative of anima. It represents fertility, nourishment, power, and destruction. Okay, and we have the Wise Old Man. This is a derivative of animus, and it represents wisdom and meaning. It's the meaning embedded in this archetype that cannot be easily accessed. We also have the hero archetype, represented in mythology and legends as a powerful person and the unconscious images of a person who conquers an evil foe with a tragic flaw. Again, the self is our tendency to move towards growth, perfection, and completion. We have the persona. This is the personality we show to the world and a mask that we sometimes wear. The shadow archetype are the qualities that we do not wish to acknowledge but attempt to hide from others. According also to Jung, it's the first test of courage to face our shadow. And ayun, no? We could see it like the diagram like this. Again, self is the center of the personality while the ego is the center of your consciousness. So some concepts and terms, we have self-realization or individuation. This represents a process of becoming an individual or coming to selfhood or a psychological rebirth. A mandala is the striving of the collective unconscious for unity, balance, and wholeness, and while a complex is a tone of conglomeration of ideas. Other concepts?
Sorry.
Bakit?
Si Jomer kasi alam ko pupunta ng yung kumukuha ang passport sa inyo. Foreign Affairs, sabi, pay kukunin na lang yung kanya.
Okay.
Yung gusto mo magpa-facial, alam ko may alam siya.
Okay.
Na malapit doon. Tapos, sabay na lang kayo.
Okay.
Libriyan mo na lang siya, kasi gamitin yung pera ko.
Anong oras?
Hindi ko alam anong oras.
Okay. Sige. Okay. Thank you, pa.
Sabay ka na lang. Ha?
Thank you.
Ay, may anak. Love you. Marami nagmamahal sa iyo.
Love you, pa.
Tandaan mo. Ano mo yung sarili mo. Marami nagmamahal sa iyo. Stress lang yun. Wala na ano.
Okay, let's go back. No, people are also motivated by inherited remnants that are stemmed from the collective experiences from the early ancestors. So, the ego again is one's conscious mind and concerned in thinking, feeling, and perceiving. Again, the ego is the center of consciousness. So we have here the term called transcendence. This is an integration of the diverse systems of the self towards the wholes and identity of all humanity. So transcendence is like transcending beyond your current self, and basically you're moving forward to wholeness, okay, to unity of yourself. The mandala again is a symbolic representation of the self. It is represented by balance, harmony, wholeness. This circle represents wholeness. So we have here psychological types, or the polarities of human personality. We have 8 psychological types. We will combine the attitudes and the functions. The attitudes is a predisposition to act or react in a characteristic direction, while functions, we have 4. Okay, let's go to attitudes. We have introversion, an inward psychic energy with an orientation towards subjective. So introverted ka, if you want to spend more time into yourself, you don't want some external forces more, but you want more into yourself. Extroversion is an outward psychic energy with an orientation towards objective. Functions, on the other hand, we have 4: thinking, feeling, sensing, and intuiting. Thinking is a logical intellectual activity that produces some chains of ideas. So feeling, on the other hand, is whenever we evaluate an idea or an event. While sensing is whenever we receive physical stimuli and transmit them perceptual consciousness. Intuiting is our perception beyond the working of the consciousness. So we have these four functions, and we can determine it by taking a test basically, and that is the MBTI, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. So we will combine the attitudes and the functions. So we have here some jobs that we could do as based from the 8 Jungian psychological types. So you could see this more into your books, right? And some development of personality. The period after age 35 to 40 is very essential now, or very critical. The childhood represents the early morning sun. The youth is the morning sun, is a period of increased activity, maturing sexuality, growing consciousness, and a recognition that the problem-free era of childhood is gone forever. The middle age is represented by the late morning sun, begins at 35 or 40 with increasing anxieties but also a period of tremendous potential. While the old age is represented by by death as the goal of life. There is a diminution of consciousness and can be fulfilling only when death is seen as the goal of life. So, ayun. Young compared the trip through the life to the journey of the sun to the skies with the brightness of the sun representing consciousness. So we have this okay. So ayun. So I guess that will be all for our lessons. Just review more about the different psychological types, and it's good that you know kung ano yung type ninyo. Are you ENFT, EINTJ, no? Depende yan, no? So there is a test that would allow you to really determine your psychological type. Okay, I hope you've learned something for our lesson for today. And let's go to your LMS. So you can see here that there are some quizzes that you will need to answer. Kindly please answer week 1 quiz, the week 2 quiz, and the week 3 quiz. There are also formative assessments that you have to answer as well. Okay? And now, to discuss the summative assessment, let me open this one for you. Okay? It's already made available. So you will need to create a video presentation that will present the core concepts and tenets of the 3 major theories of personality, which is psychoanalysis, individual psychology, and analytical psychology. So you may do it by group, a maximum of 3 members only. I will allow you to choose your own group members. You may work by pair, individually, or solo. So you need to upload your video to YouTube and set it to public. I know there are OneDrive issues, but again, if ever that you cannot upload it in OneDrive, upload it in a YouTube account and make sure that it is in public. You can share the shareable YouTube or OneDrive link and paste it in the comment section. So later I will show you how to upload a video. No? State the members in the submission bin if it's done by pairs or if it's done by threes, no? So, wait lang ha. Let me just edit this one for you. By group. Okay, so yan, no? So, if it's done by pairs or by group. Again, a maximum of 3 members only, but you can do it solo if you want to. There's no problem with that. You can also do it individually again. Okay, now the objectives of the presentation: to present the key theories of Jung, Freud, and Adler, highlighting the contributions of the psychological perspective; to present the importance of understanding theories of personality in the field of psychology and in practice. So we have here the structure of presentation. There should be an introduction, main content, okay. So the introduction is 2 to 3 minutes, a brief overview of the importance of studying personality, and what are the theories to be covered. Explain concisely the importance of learning the theories of personality and understanding behavior in people and in the field of psychology. So just explain why is it important to study these theories. Okay, next for the main content, no? So we have segments. Segment 1 is psychoanalytic theory. There is a part here that you have to explain further because this is very essential in the theory of Freud. And you present also the defense mechanisms. You can give example for at least 2, but you can go for more if you like. Segment number 2 is the individual psychology by Adler. You present the overview of individual psychology, including fictional finalism, the styles of life, family constellation, and creative power. So you also present the safeguarding tendencies and give examples to at least 2, and you can go for more. Compare it to Freud. What are the similarities and differences? Okay, it's important that we can compare it to other theories. Last segment will be analytical psychology by Carl Jung. So you're going to present the core concepts of analytical psychology, including the collective unconscious and the developmental stages. Present the 8 psychological types and functions, and again, you compare it to Freud's theory, the similarities and differences. Now, the last section will be the conclusion. You have to give a summary of the key points for each theory and discuss how these theories can be applied generally in the real-world setting, such as in therapy or personal development. You may then provide scenarios or examples. Okay? So, this will be the 4 segments. And now for the visual and audio elements, use slides or animations. You should be seen in the video presentation. Make sure that your face is seen. This is a requirement, no? Incorporate some diagrams if you would like, text overlays, no, if you would like, and you may use royalty-free videos as your visuals, no? For the audio, clear narration, use your own voice, background music, but complement it with the content. Kailangan hindi mag-overlap, no? Kailangan mas malakas pa rin yung audio, yung microphone ninyo. Use of sound effects or voice modulation. Some criteria for scoring: 25 points, content accuracy, 15 points for clarity and creativity, and 20 points for the relevance. Okay, so this will be our summative assessment. Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Okay, so I guess I am done with the synchronous session. Next week, we will not meet next week because I will give you the time for you to submit the output. And the deadline of it will be on September 3, 2025. So make sure to submit it within that date, okay? If you will submit it after that date, there will be deduction of points already. The more late, the higher the deduction of points. So are there any questions before I will wrap it up? Okay naman tayo, Princess. Wala namang tanong. None so far. Alright, thank you so much. May you have a wonderful day and keep smiling. God bless you all and see you soon. God bless.